Do you want to get into the next subject?
What is the next one?
The EU referendum. We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
You told me that someone suggested this topic like weeks ago or something.
It was only last week.
Was it?
Yeah, it was last week.
Well, yeah, last week you suggested it, and I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't have enough information on it.
Also, you gathered information.
You know what? I tried to do research.
I didn't even try.
I really tried hard.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with the EU referendum.
Basically, everything that I've seen online has been extremely biased. Extremely biased. It's either for, leaving the EU or remaining in the EU. Like I even watched.
Well, ain't those the only two options, Jay?
Yeah, but there's no objective, opinion out there. I haven't seen any piece of information
That's
just
politics.
like, here's the information at all. There's no just facts. It's everyone saying
politics,
we
though.
don't know what's gonna happen, but it's probably gonna be bad if the opposition wins. That is what's basically going on right about now.
Okay.
So I watched a couple videos talking about like the EU and whatnot, saying like how basically their laws affect us and all that sort of shit, and people want to leave because they don't want to abide by the laws. And then like obviously I don't even know what laws they're talking about. So I watched this debate. I think it was with Nick Clegg, George. Is that guy's name George Farage or is it Nigel Farage? What's that guy's name that everyone thinks is racist and he's with the UKIP?
I have no idea.
I think it's Nigel Farage or whatever, and some woman and some old guy, basically. Like those four people. Obviously, 2 was for remaining in the EU and 2 was for leaving the EU, innit?
Yeah.
So obviously the UKIP guy was for leaving it, and I think the woman she used to be part of the Conservatives, but now she jumped ship basically to say, you know what, we got to leave the EU, and David Cameron doesn't want to leave, so I'm not with him anymore. And there was a guy from Labour and Nick Clegg, innit? And everything Nick Clegg was saying was stuff that I agree with.
What was Nick Clegg saying?
He just made sense. He was talking in facts. The other guys were just like, the Nigel Farage guy was just, just talking
hypothetically.
Yeah. Like there was no people would give like questions like what's one of the questions that came up? I think someone from the audience said, can you answer what is going to happen if we leave the EU? And yeah, basically that. And all I heard was bare hypotheticals, I don't know, like bare just dancing around the question and saying, "Oh, we have to leave."
What does
blah,
Nick
blah,
Clegg,
blah blah blah.
Is he for or against?
He's for remaining in the thing. Like those guys that were for remaining in the thing. He's from Lib Dems.
Lib Dem, innit? Yeah, that's the pagan. He lies.
I see. The thing about Nick Clegg is, I think he made promises and then he got into the coalition government, and I think David Cameron just done everything, innit? Like Nick Clegg didn't
he was just
a little bitch.
say at all.
Yeah, so Nick Clegg made promises that he couldn't keep by effect. So I don't know if that's lying or if that's just trying to do politics and then they're not working out in your favor. But basically, Nick Clegg was the most level-headed guy on the debate because the guys on the other
most experience anyway.
I don't even know. But
Nick Clegg murked the debate. He's good at debates. I remember watching him.
He seems like he is.
I remember watching him with David Cameron and fucking who was it at that time?
I don't know.
When David Cameron won. It was someone representing Labour. It was the guy before this waste man. Yeah, this waste man Ed. It was the guy before that. I can't remember his name. But Nick Clegg was the best at that. And I wanted to vote for Lib Dem.
Yeah.
Like, you get me? And then it turned out that Conservative won and Lib Dem obviously joined with them, innit? But like, he seems to be really good. But everything that he was promising at that thing never happened. So you get what I mean?
Choice, really. I don't think he had a choice, but maybe he did and he just lied. I don't know.
I just don't trust them, but Ben, go ahead.
Basically, like Nigel Farage was saying stuff like, I don't even know, but he was just saying some bullshit and, not quoting any facts and whatnot. Pardon me. And then Nick would quote facts and tell him why he's wrong and that sort of shit. So obviously that's gonna make me just be on his side because he's bringing up facts and he just seems to be the right person, and so he's disputing what they're saying.
From the facts you've gathered in your research, because I ain't done no research, innit?
There's no facts. There's none whatsoever. The honest truth is no one knows what will happen. That is the truth, because that is what I've gathered from these debates and all these theories and stuff.
So what do you think will happen if we stay?
basically, if we stay, it's just going to keep on going how it's going. Like, I think the opposition are upset because Turkey might be coming into the EU. They don't want that to happen.
Why not?
Because they got like 70 million people or something in there, and loads of them are poor and stuff. And if
everyone's in debt,
and if they're in the EU, then they're allowed to move to the UK and stuff, and to come get jobs and all that sort of shit, which is, I guess, bad for certain people, I guess.
I've got a lot of things to say.
But there's bare Turkish people here anyways. Like, what do you think you're really going to keep them out by not bringing them in the EU? Like, let's be serious. But, so, like, the things that the people against, staying in the EU are saying is, like, we need better immigration. Being part of the EU allows too many people to come into our borders and just travel around. But the thing with that is we can travel to other EU countries. And, like, if you wanted to, you could go live in Spain and it'll be calm, because I think Spain's part of the EU. Yeah, they are, because they use euros and that sort of shit. So, like, there's loads of British people living in other places right now. Yeah. So that argument is a bit stupid to me.
There's a lot more living here than us living there.
I don't know, but probably. I think that's my perception anyways, but I don't know if that's fact. But yeah, the thing that's going on is no one knows what's going to happen. No one knows what will happen if we leave. Some people are saying there'll probably be higher import prices and that sort of stuff. We probably won't get the same deals that we have with the EU right about now, so we won't be able to trade at the same price and keep that. And if we do get those same deals, then we'll be subject to the same rules that they're importing on us right now. So there'd be no point to actually leave, because there'd be no gain really. We'd only be losing. Like, we'll probably get a shitty deal and we'll probably still have to abide by the rules. And I think some of the guys on the Remain side were saying, if we leave, then America's not going to give a shit about us, because we don't represent all those countries that we were representing before when we came to the table. Like, because we're with the EU, when we negotiate with people, it's like us and like the Europe, basically. It's not just England or the UK and that sort of shit. Like, we represent, like, what is it, like 40 countries or something like that. Just bare amount of people, basically. It's just a lot of bargaining power.
I think that's bullshit. America's always going to give a fuck about England.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. And also, like, on the Leave side, they were saying how Brussels runs the EU and all that sort of shit, and we don't really get a lot of say in the laws that are passed over here and passed in the EU and all those restrictions and whatnot. And basically, if they make up laws in the EU, then we have to follow them, and we don't really get a big say in that. And they want us to be able to self-govern and, our government be able to make up the rules, which I understand with that. I understand where they're coming from. But if you do not have, certain answers of what's going to happen if we leave the EU, then I can't fuck with that. Because I did vote. I voted to remain in the EU because I just thought, we're doing what we're doing now. This is what's happening now. Like, we're already in the EU. If we leave, it might be fucked up. But if we stay, I know it's as fucked up as it is right about now. If we leave, prices might go up. We might have to pay bare for like groceries and shit. Like, people might lose jobs and all this sort of stuff. I don't know what's going to happen, because no one has any certain opinion or any certain facts on what will happen or what deals we can keep on what deals we have to renegotiate and all that sort of shit. So it's a lot of stuff up in the air, a lot of uncertainty, and I don't believe there's any reason to jump into that uncertainty right about now when I've got enough uncertainty in my life, basically. But yeah, what was your opinions? What did you want to say?
I haven't done any research on it at all. I've kind of just spoken to people, gotten other people's opinions. It seems
like people are either one side or the other side. There's no
middle ground.
There's no objectivity.
No, there's no objectivity.
None at all.
I've just been like talking to people. I haven't really done any research on the actual politics side and heard what people are saying and shit, which I should have, but I'm not voting anyway. So
why not?
I don't need
to. Oh, you're not registered?
I'm not registered. I wouldn't vote anyway as well.
This guy, man.
Like, I just don't.
Come on, man.
Fam, I just don't trust them.
You got to start voting. Research. You got to start voting.
First, I got to do the research on them. But like, as of now,
you can still register to vote, I think. So maybe, I don't know. I think
as of now,
some sort of date in June.
None of them have like really grabbed me, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was gonna say on the EU matter.
There's only two choices. It's either stay or leave.
Neither's grabbed me. Like, nothing's grabbed me. Not a prime minister, not a mayor. Nothing has made me want to say like, oh, I really want to vote for this.
Okay.
I just couldn't care less. I don't see how it's going to affect me. I might bite my words one day. You never know.
Probably will, because it probably will affect you, to be honest. It probably is affecting you day by day.
Probably.
Because the Conservatives being in power I don't think it's a good thing. It's good for rich people.
Me. I don't know. Maybe taxes have raised.
Yeah, you probably got crappy taxes right by now.
Maybe. I don't know. Flipping. But yeah, I should just do the research really. But I just kind of go off energy. Right, like, no, I do. Like, I just go off energy. Like what feels right.
That is not the way to make big decisions.
Flipping. What was I gonna say? Fucking yeah. With the EU thing, I feel like. Firstly, I feel like there's two problems with the EU. What I want to really know more about, and that's currency and immigrants and immigration. Like the immigration thing, I feel. What's the word? Like I feel. What's that word?
Do you like it or not like it? Which one is it? What kind of feeling?
No, I don't mind it. Innit? No,
you're indifferent towards it then.
I'm indifferent towards it, but I feel like I didn't want to say feel sorry. I was thinking of a word, but I can't remember. But I do feel sorry for immigrants out there because I feel like
they gotta leave their country and go somewhere else.
So obviously there is some that are bullshitting, like, and they're chatting shit, like, and they're like illegal immigrants or whatever, and they're actually not coming from war zone countries or whatever.
But if you're committing crime to go to another country, then it was probably shitty in the country that you started off in.
Yeah, but we'll just never know. We just don't know. Like, as you talk about facts, we'll just never know the truth of the matter if this immigrant or not does need to come into this country.
Yeah.
I've heard of the Australia's method of that they only let
point system. Yeah, that's what that Nigel Farage
I think that's a good idea.
He said that's what he wants to implement.
I think that's a good point. But what I was gonna say, why I feel sorry for immigrants is because I know that my grandparents were immigrants, so I know that I wouldn't be in this country if Britain never opened their doors. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's a hard one. Like, I don't feel like I should be against it, if you get what I mean, because I know that deep down I'm really an immigrant of this country anyway. So you know what I mean. The other thing with currency, the thing with immigrant, what I wanted to say is that why do they seem to stuff everyone in London? There's so much space in this fucking country. There's not a lot of space in this country. England's small, but there's so much space around the countryside and that.
I think that's our perception.
Everyone's
because
going
we live
in
London.
Nah, fam. It's the truth, fam.
What, you check the stats?
I haven't, but that's just
exactly.
That's
it's
just
your perception because you live in London and you see.
But when I go out of
basis.
London, it's just white people, fam. London is the only place where it's multicultural, and maybe Manchester.
There are
not the only place.
Where, cities where it's multicultural.
London's the main one. London's where you'll get every different race.
But obviously,
Manchester, you might see a bit of a mixture.
If you're immigrating
to
to fucking England or whatever, or the UK, like, what city are you gonna go to? Like, out of all of them,
yeah,
like,
you're gonna go London.
Real talk. You're going to London. Like, you're not gonna.
But why are they allowing that?
You're not gonna come to UK and go to Birmingham. Like, who wants to do that, fam? Like, that's dead.
No, but
you're going to London.
But why is there so much fucking countryside just being wasted?
To you Birmingham guys.
Why is there so much countryside being wasted, fam? Like, there's all this countryside where there's a man. Like, is it because that man owns all that land and they have to actually buy that land off that guy to start building houses? Like, when you go driving off the motorway, you just see bare fucking grass and fucking animals, fam.
Farmland, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why?
What? Why is there farmland?
There's so much though.
Fam,
there's so much. You do
realise we kind of need farmers and whatnot.
Yeah, but
that's how you get your shit from Tesco's and whatnot.
I know, but there's so fucking much of it, man.
Yeah, we probably want more, and that then stuff will be cheaper. The more food that we have, the cheaper food will become because there's an abundance of it. So supply and demand.
Yeah, but we've got too many people to feed.
Yeah, that's why we need more farmlands.
So they should just be farmers, really. That's all the immigrants should be letting in. The immigrant officers should just be letting in just bare farmers. Oh yeah, the thing on currency,
We don't want the euro. I don't want the euro at all.
Yeah, I don't want the euro either.
Really hopefully, we never get the euro because the euro is
eventually
the euro is a joke compared to the pound.
Yeah,
like the pound wins over the euro
strong.
every year, every day. The pound is winning.
The pound is super
if we
strong.
adopt the
that's
euro,
why they want. That's why they want England
niggas.
to join so badly because England's in a
Fuck
better
you guys, man.
currency
Get the
position
pound.
than the rest.
Get the pound. Jump on the GBP.
They can't jump on the pound. That'll fuck us up. That'll make the pound,
because they're probably printing money over there.
No, because then if they jump on the pound, we'll take their debt and then it will make the pound lower.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works, yeah. The euro's so shit because all these countries are fucking poor.
Oh.
But we're poor as well, but we're not there.
See, the thing with the EU is it's a lot of it's basically
There's a lot of variables.
It's basically like socialism and community kind of thing. Well, first of all, it was made for like to be like some sort of trading network, and now it's like, you know, the big countries help the little countries who are struggling and that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So it's basically, it seems from the outset like it's a force for good. It's a force for helping other countries and whatnot. Like if like the people who want to leave it are people who don't want to, you know, pay into the euro and think we can better use the money over here at home. And, you know, some people are saying, oh, put in the NHS and all that sort of shit, instead of paying like 340 million or something like that. Maybe it was billion. I don't think it's billion now. It must be million into the EU so that they can, you know, help other poor countries. But the thing is, yeah, if those countries get poorer and poorer and they don't do well when their governments collapse, yeah, there's just going to be civil war. And if civil war breaks out and it starts spreading, like it will spread all over Europe. If all those countries who, I don't even know what countries are in the EU because my geography is trash, but if all the countries in Europe were like all the poor countries,
the poor ones
were fucked up, yeah, and no one was helping them out, and they couldn't get no peace, so the government couldn't keep order, and the civilians just revolted, and then there was civil war and all that sort of shit, and then it broke out, and then there was extremism, and civil war broke out to other things, and then like just bare war all over the place. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for anyone because like war is not good. It's profitable for some people, but it's not good for the everyday citizen. Yeah. And I think prior to the EU, there was like it was bare wars in Europe, innit, and bare madness.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries
dictatorships
split
and
up
all that sort of shit, which
split up into different countries and that.
I don't necessarily, you know, agree with the EU or any sort of governing power interfering in the way a certain country runs their country. Like if there is, you know, if there was like a king of some sort of country and that was the person who ran the country, I don't think it's okay for, you know, some British politicians or whatever, or EU politicians to go to that country and be like, oh no, you should have democracy. I don't think that's cool at all. I think that's like forcing your ideals on someone else. Like if the people are cool with a dictatorship or whatever, like the kings just ruling over the thing, then you should be cool with it. Like you can't run up in the country and do that sort of shit. But like, I don't know, man. I just think, you know, might as well stay in the EU because like if we leave, it's probably going to get more fucked up, and it's going to be fucked up on a level that I can't predict because no one's giving me any relevant information whatsoever. And yeah, staying in is just the evil I already know, I guess.
I think eventually what they want to do, as we were saying before, is like they do want to have no pounds. They want England to be They want the whole of the UK to have the euros as well.
We gotta veto that every single time they bring that up. No way.
I think eventually it is gonna happen.
No way. Do you know how dead that currency is, fam?
No, this is what's gonna eventually happen. Like I can foresee it.
Like the pound is the strongest out of all the currencies, as far as I know.
Not all of them. Not the whole world.
What currency is stronger than the pound?
I swear the yen.
No, yen is fucking super weak.
The Japanese yen or something?
Yeah, like £1 is probably like 500 or 1,000 yen or something. Like yen is.
Let me Google it. I know the pound's not the strongest though.
Like I'm talking about the strongest currency is one of the Asians. 1-to-1 basically. Whichever one is one, when the other currency is like 1 point whatever or whatever. Whichever one is the lowest currency is worth the most. So like say if you had £1 and someone had 1 yen, how much could you buy? You could buy more with £1 than that person with 1 yen. Because just do yen to
it's Kuwait, that's it.
Is that the The best currency.
Yeah. You see, we're fourth.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had.
Bahrain and Oman are the top three. Because obviously these
I
are
didn't
all
even know about those
these are all
countries.
them oil countries, fam. They got better oil.
They're out, so they ain't printing money. They're just
blessed.
boiling oil.
Yeah.
And selling it to man.
Yeah.
And riding around on their camels.
No, but fam,
and shitting on girls for money.
This is what's gonna happen, yeah. The EU eventually is gonna become one country. All the countries are gonna be split up into states. It's gonna become like the United States of America. That's what they want it to be. They want it to be like one country called Europe, like the United States of Europe or something. Then, if the United States of America and the United States of Europe join together, they'll basically be able to control the whole world.
New world order.
It will be a new world order. This is where eventually it is.
Then Russia and China aren't going to be happy about that. Russia and China are going to.
They're not going to be happy with that.
Some bullshit.
But like, they won't be able to stop if America, and
Vladimir
Europe,
Putin's a rude boy.
Australia, Canada. They won't be able to stop if all of those countries are joined together.
Alright, I don't know what's going on over there in Russia, but I know Vladimir Putin ain't gonna take anything lying down.
Well, they fucked up Russia. Like, look how big Russia was. They purposefully went in there and broke up so much of it and turned it to so many different countries
over there.
Because it was too big, it was too dangerous.
Yeah, no, Russia is
so
Russia is a very dangerous country, and
revenge.
China is a very dangerous country, and was it North Korea? No, North Korea is a bit mad.
Yeah, because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he doesn't give a fuck. It's like
But I get so you're indifferent on the EU referendum. You don't know what.
I want everyone to have peace and love.
Please leave your comments down below because I really want to understand what everyone thinks we should do with the EU referendum. It would be good to have a discussion and see what your reasons are for staying or leaving. Yo, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to check out the full podcast, you can click on the SoundCloud link in the description, or you can search for J. Cartere or talk about it in the podcast section of the iTunes store, and you can find us there. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. It really helps us out, and we'll see you next time.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.